hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hey, everyone.
Hi, how
Jamie.
are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Guys, this is Miss Kiana Lawson with Luxury is Key,
Hmm.
real estate, right? Can you
Yeah.
just tell everybody, like, just more about yourself and your expertise in like real estate and everything?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have been licensed in the state of Georgia as a real estate professional since 2006. And I have been initially when I got licensed, I wasn't pursuing real estate. But in 2015, made the decision that I wanted to kind of exit out of my corporate job. My corporate background was in supply chain management. So kind of got tired of that and decided, you know what, you have your real estate license, Kiana, let's go ahead and, you know, make it shake. Let's see what we can do with your real estate license. So between 2015 and 2018, I was doing real estate part-time, and I used the quotes part-time because I was doing full-time numbers. So that helped me to phase out of corporate in 2018, and I've been a full-time real estate agent in the metro Atlanta area since 2018.
Nice. Nice. I love that. I love that. So my question is like, when we saw the let me say this out. So when we saw the ranch, right, for 549,000, and it's in Decula. So is that like, number one, I want to know how country of an area is that? And also I would like to know, is that like, did she get a steal on that price?
It's a good price for the area,
Uh-huh.
definitely for 5 acres. The house, personally, I wouldn't live in it. There are a lot of adjustments that would need to be made to the house. But if you're
Uh-huh.
looking at the big picture, if you're looking at it from the lens of investment, then yes, it absolutely was a great property, great opportunity that I personally probably wouldn't have passed up on if I was looking at it from an investment property, not an initial primary residence. So yes. Now the Decula area, it's on the outskirts of Gwinnett County.
Okay.
So it's just right on the cusp of, on the border of Gwinnett and Barrow counties, which is a little country, but
Mhm.
I'll say it's definitely an up and coming area. So that 550 right now, I can see in the next 5 years, definitely we'll see a great return on that investment in the upward of but between 7 to 8 in the next 5 years, 700,000 to 800,000, due to the fact of what's going on in the market. People can't afford in the city. Your
Right.
Gwinnett County is a highly attractive area because of their top rated schools. So you're going to pay a little more of a premium going into Gwinnett County just because of their schools alone, top rated schools in the country.
Mm.
But Decula is an upcoming area, so people are shifting to what we perceive as the country. Once people start to shift to those areas, then you'll start to see big development happen in those areas.
So okay, when you were talking, it made me think about Decatur, because
Mhm.
I've been seeing them do a lot. Like, is what I don't know if Decatur is Gwinnett County as well or not.
No, that's going to be DeKalb County. So
Okay,
my,
decaf.
my office base is in Decatur. So
Okay.
I have a property in Decatur. My office is also in Decatur, downtown Decatur. So Decatur is a great example of what we can see a neighborhood do. I'm not sure how long have you been in? Are you from Atlanta? Well, you say you're from Alabama. How
Yeah, I'm
long have
from
you been
Alabama,
in
but I've
Georgia?
been here about like eight, not. Hold on, what we at? 9 years, I think. I think it's been like 9 years since I've been here.
Okay, so you came right around the time that Decatur was full in the swing of its shift, especially the downtown Decatur area. So we'll say 15, 20 years ago. I'm not sure the last time you've been to the downtown Decatur area, but what you see as downtown Decatur today is definitely not what it was 15, 20 years ago. It was an area that you would not want to even buy a property in. You wouldn't want to walk down the street in.
True.
It just wasn't what it is today. And I think that is a issue that I see with a lot of us in our community when it comes to purchasing real estate. We generally want to buy real estate and buy in an area that's already there,
Mm-hmm.
that we feel comfortable with, that, we can kind of showboat to our friends and family about, I live in this area, I live in this zip code. But in reality, we have to look at it from a different perspective and a different lens. You want to buy in those areas that have huge development plans. and the makings, you need to be aware of, go to those local development meetings in your county to see what projects are on the agenda and what the timing of those projects are, where the locations are. And that's where you strategically want to purchase properties.
Oh, that makes
Don't buy in
sense
areas.
it's growing.
So like buying in Decatur right now, it's great, but it's too late. You've lost.
Right.
It's too late. A good area, like I just purchased my place in West Midtown, the Upper West Side, Bankhead. People know Donald Lee Hollowell Parkway. Everyone knows it as Bankhead. Oh, you live off of Bankhead? I sure do. I absolutely do. I bought a property off of Bankhead and bought it new construction. Went under contract March of last year for $522,000. Closed on it December 22nd. And they're selling, I contracted in the first building in my development. They're selling my same unit right now for the low 700s.
And okay, so because I wanted to ask more about that, because when you got in the comments, you said that you gained 300K in equity, and I wanted you to like talk about that more for the people that may not understand that.
Right. So yeah, so what that means is, so like I said, my purchase price of my home, the contracted sales price was $522,000. I put down a little over 100. That doesn't mean that you guys have to put down that kind of money. It's just I wanted to control what my mortgage payment is.
Okay.
So I put down that amount of money to control my mortgage payment, and to be completely transparent, my mortgage payment is $2,500 a month on a $422,000 mortgage. So a lot of y'all are paying damn near close to that, if not that, right now for rentals. So when you guys hear the big number, it seems big, but once you play with the numbers and understand, after you put down a down payment, again, you don't have to put down that much money, but you can control what that mortgage payment looks like. And it may be doable for you to do a $3,000 a month payment, especially if it's a 2-income household. $3,000 is nothing in a 2-income household.
Right.
But buying at $522,000, putting down a little over $100,000, put me at a final loan amount with my bank for $422,000. What that means is, if in my community right now, if they're selling for the low 7s, I could put my house on the market right now, 45 days after I've closed on it already, for $700 and like $15,000-$20,000, make $300,000 just off of a 1-month investment. If I wanted to sell it, I'm not going to sell it, because I know by the time they finish my community, my property is going to be worth $1 million.
Yup. Girl, it's so many different nooks and things going on. Okay, all right. So I have some questions here for like it's just a few questions.
Absolutely.
So the first one, okay. I think these are two separate. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. Okay, so the first question is, do you have to put down 20% to purchase a property?
No, you do not. I put down 20% on my property. Did I have to put down 20%? No, my requirement was 5% down. I could have put down 5%, but my mortgage payment would have been higher, and I wanted to have a comfortable mortgage payment. So if the market shifts and I can't sell a house, I know I can swing $2,500 a month versus $4,000 a month.
Yeah. So, okay, I feel like I got combo questions now. So like my first question is that always the standard to just put down 5%? If not, like what is it dependent on? And then the other question was, are there any other resources that's going to allow a person to possibly put down $100,000 like you did?
So putting down that kind of money, not necessarily, but there are, you have different down payment structures depending on what loan program you are able to utilize. So we can talk about some different loan programs, the most popular ones. So you have your FHA loan. FHA requires a 3.5% down payment of whatever your purchase price is. You have conventional loans that can be anywhere from 0 down to 20% down. A non-conforming conventional for investors, it can go in upwards of about 30% down. But just a typical first-time home buyer, is not an investment property. you're looking at anywhere from 0 to about 5% down.
Okay.
For your home purchase. Down payment wise, there are down payment assistance programs that can assist with down payment. Now, the only caveat with down payment programs is you have to credit qualify for down payment programs. So for your FHA loan, minimum credit score requirement is going to be about a middle FICO score of a 580.
Okay.
However, to qualify for down payment assistance programs, most of them require a middle FICO credit score of about a 640.
Okay.
So you'll have to meet that threshold to qualify for DPA. However, it's a good way for those that make good money, but realistically, it's not feasible for you to save, $20,000 or, $15,000 in a short amount of time. That's where your DPA programs can come in to help with that gap in covering your down payment for your home purchase.
Gotcha. And what does your like work history have to be? Like, how is it? Like, you have to just have a job for a year, 6 months?
Yep. Good question. So for most loan programs, they're going to require at least 2 years of employment, consistent employment. Now, they're not too picky on, if you change the job once in the past 2 years, or even a couple of times in the past 2 years, as long as it's within the same field of work, and there are no gaps. So you transition from one job on a Friday and start at the new job on Monday. They want to see a clean transition from one employer to another. So 2 years of consistent, stable employment, 2 years of tax returns are going to be required for them to verify and average out what that income looks like for deposits. And what else? Like I said, depending on what loan program, at minimum a 580 FICO middle credit score. Convention for FHA, for conventional, generally you want to see at least a 640 to qualify for conventional financing. So yeah, those are going to be the bare minimums that they're going to look at. We don't want to see no late payments on your credit report in the past 2 years. So clean payment history on your credit report for two consecutive years. And no bankruptcy. That's a big one. No bankruptcy. FHA, you can have a bankruptcy, but it has to be discharged at least 2 years and 1 day at the time of your mortgage application. Conventional, 4 years. You got a 4-year waiting period for conventional for bankruptcy. So
like, what about individuals that may be self-employed? Is that process different, or how does that work?
So for self-employed, I'm self-employed, so I had to follow a different process. So they look at your bank statements. They're going to look at generally 12 months of bank statements, and they're going to look at those deposits. Once they look at all of the deposits over that 12-month period, the loan officer or the processor is going to average out those deposits, and that's how they're going to qualify your buying power based off of the average of those 12 months worth of deposits.
Gotcha. Okay, sounds great.
And also for self-employed, must have 2 years of tax returns that they can still verify. You're not considered self-employed if you are not filing taxes under business. So you have to have that.
Great. Okay. Another one. The question says, if someone asks you to hold multiple contracts, is it usually a flat fee or price per contract?
All right, we're going to get into this one. So personally, I've never heard of this. This is the first with me watching the show about transferring contracts from one broker to another. Now, the standard process when you're leaving a brokerage, so just to, I guess, put things into perspective before I get deep in answering this question, as a real estate agent, which I am a real estate agent, I do not have my broker's license. I'm in the process of doing that. But as a real estate agent, I must work under a broker. My broker is Keller Williams. So my office is based in downtown Decatur. My office is Keller Williams Realty Metro Atlanta Decatur. My broker is responsible for anything that I do. If I'm not in compliance with things, that's the person whose phone is ringing because Kiana isn't doing something right. When, say I wanted to leave Keller Williams, Keller Williams, since they're the broker owns the contract. I'm just the agent that facilitated the deal, but the contract is her Georgia Real Estate Commission is owned by the broker. If I were to leave my brokerage and I had listings that are active in the MLS that have not been contracted on, technically that is my broker's listing. They would have to sign off for me to take it with me to my new brokerage, to brokerage B. They would have to release it. So I'm assuming with the 26, 29 contracts, the broker agreed to release these contracts. However, they must have put a time limit on how long she had to get them assigned to a new broker before they maybe reneged on the deal of some sort. That's what I'm assuming. Because that's not a standard practice. Generally, when you leave, your broker is not releasing contracts because that is money that they're making off of those contracts. You still get paid. I would still get paid, but they have to maintain ownership with that original broker.
Got you.
But I will still get paid. You don't lose no money. You will still get paid. It's just that the contract says Keller Williams Metro Atlanta. So we're not going to go through all of this extra paperwork to get it reassigned to a new broker. Everybody involved in that transaction, from the buyers, the sellers, the buyer's agent, the listing agent, the listing broker, the buyer's broker, everyone has to be on one accord with transferring this contract, each individual contract, to a new broker. It's a lot of, it can be a headache. So that's why it's not the norm. Now, in terms of the price, personally, $500 per contract, it's nothing. It's pennies, personally, because we know the average sales price in Metro Atlanta right now is about $375,000. The standard commission for a real estate agent in the Metro Atlanta area is about 3% of that $375. So if we just got a clean 26 contracts at $375, that's $11,000 per contract. So we paying $500 per contract for another broker to assume responsibility for those contracts. I think it's reasonable. It's not unreasonable, no.
Gotcha.
On a friendship level, maybe you had a different expectation because you're friends, but if we're just keeping it business, I don't think it's unreasonable. It would have been unreasonable.
Okay, perfect. So I have another question here. Somebody used to ask, how do I get a loan as a first-time buyer? I feel like you kind of like went over this a little bit.
Yeah, the first step that I always tell prospective home buyers is understand where you are credit-wise. Really don't be scared to really go and dig deep and dive and take a look at your credit report. Right now with the pandemic, you guys are offered a free credit report once, I think every month now. You can go in and get an updated credit report. Look at that, go through that credit report line by line to see what's on there. Identify any inaccurate information so that you can start working towards getting those inaccuracies corrected with the credit bureaus. You can go straight to the credit bureaus if you see that there are inaccuracies on your credit report to start that process with getting that stuff cleaned up. But just understand where you are credit-wise. Regardless of where you are, you have to start from somewhere, and being scared to just really dig deep to understand where you are credit-wise is just going to continue to hold you back from making that purchase while home prices continue to rise.
Gotcha. Okay. Another question is, are properties in the South generally cheaper? They said they watch a lot of HGTV and seeing people buy properties for less than $100,000. So are properties in the South? I would think so, right?
If we're going to compare, to the West, and up North, yes, it is cheaper. But are there $100,000 properties? Are they in abundance? Absolutely. A $100,000 property is not what you think it's going to be. Generally, a $100,000 property is a teardown. You're going to be starting over from scratch. It's going to need work. It's not going to likely qualify for traditional financing, which your FHA loan. FHA has requirements on what the condition of that house must be in before they will back it and fund it. And if some things that would not qualify for FHA, if the home has broken windows, if the home has foundation issues, roofing issues, major things like that, FHA will not fund it. They will not insure it. So that will put you in the realm of getting a conventional loan, where you can, conventional is a little more lenient in the condition of the home, or they may look at it. You have some loans that are, I think it's called a 203B, if I'm not mistaken, but it's a construction loan looped in with a FHA loan, where now it still can't be so much in disrepair. It cannot be a rebuild. It just can be some very minor. It needs new paint. It may need new windows because they're not double pane. They may be single pane windows. But they'll give you money within that loan to be able to get that work done by a government approved contractor. So you can't get your cousin to do it and think that you're going to pay them a little bit to get it done. No, it has to be government approved contractors, and they're going to come back out and re-inspect the house. Gotcha.
Good to know, because my follow-up was going to be about investors and whether or not they typically take that conventional route for people.
Yeah, investors typically will do a conventional. You have different structures of conventional. You have what's called a non-conforming loan, which is not your standard conventional, but and you're looking at a different tier of interest rates. When you're an investor, you got more skin in the game. They're not just giving they're not going to give you money to invest, to make money. They're going to give you money to be a owner occupant. This is going to be your primary residence, and we'll help you out, and we'll put out programs that will assist with you becoming a homeowner. But when it comes time that you want to be an investor, it's a different ball game. So you definitely have to prepare for that. But it's not a challenge either. You just got to know. People don't know what they don't know. So just educating yourself on what that process looks like.
Yeah. Okay. I have another question here. They say, can you get good deals when buying a foreclosure?
Oh, this is the $1 million question. So everyone, it's a lot of people out right now that is like, okay, I'm going to wait to buy a house because I want to buy a foreclosure. Thing is, with the market being so strong right now, even if 100 houses foreclose tomorrow, the house is going to sell above market. They can price a $400,000 house tomorrow for $275,000. It is going to get so many offers on it that it is going to drive it up to the 400 plus sales price anyway. So they're there, but there ain't no deals. It's not
really.
It's too competitive right now. It's too competitive.
I did not know. I thought once they put the price, like it was set at that price, but obviously not.
No home price is set. That is the mark. That's the list price. Now, once it hit the markets, what happens after that? It's going up.
Jeez. Where can you even find these homes listed for foreclosure though?
So, I mean, as a real estate professional, I can set up a search for clients to have view over foreclosed properties. But once that house hits the public market, game over. It's over. And as the general public, put it like this: if a foreclosure come across my desk and it's a good deal, I'm gonna buy it before I even show it to you. So you're not even gonna get your hands on it.
Geez. Well, let me ask you about this then. So I hear a lot of people talk about how, like, if somebody don't pay their taxes on a home, you can buy that. So what if somebody, I don't know how they go about it, but let's say they had access to just like look up the people that's behind on their taxes, right? And they come to you and be like, Kiana, just right here. Can you facilitate that sale of that, or how does it?
Not necessarily. I can't facilitate it. I am a little versed in the tax deed sales. So what that process looks like is, as a homeowner, we're required to pay property taxes to the county for whatever county our home lies in. We have to pay taxes on that annually. With most people, we structure that tax payment within our mortgage. When we purchase a home, it's structured within your mortgage, what's called your escrow account. So your escrow account is to cover your property taxes and your homeowner's insurance. So in the event, say the house catches fire, you have insurance to rebuild. And your mortgage payment is comprised of that. Your mortgage payment is your principal payment, which is the amount of money that actually go towards your home purchase, your loan.
Mm-hmm.
You have your escrow account that then also has the property taxes and your insurance. Those three numbers added together is your final mortgage payment, what you pay monthly, and it's divvied up every month you pay. If it's $1,000, say 600 goes towards the principal for paying down your loan. Another 200 goes towards property taxes, and then the other 200 goes towards your property and homeowner's insurance, for a total of $1,000 per month. Some people, most mortgage companies on FHA loans will require that you establish a escrow account at closing. At the time of closing, the escrow account is established. When you're doing conventional, it's not a requirement. So it's the onus is put on the homeowner. Do you want to create an escrow account or not? Some people say no because they're looking at, well, I want a lower mortgage payment, so I'm not going to include the escrow items within there. I'll just pay them every year when the bill comes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge mistake because your tax bill, it can go up and down. It can change significantly depending on what is going on in your area. When we had the housing crisis between 2008, 2012, property taxes were fairly low. Now that we're back in a strong market, property taxes are going up. And the question is, will you be in a position when that bill comes out to pay that $1,700, $2,000? I'm in the city of Atlanta. My property taxes are about $6,000 a year. No, I need that included in my escrow because, again, with the field that I work in, depending on how the market goes, if it go left, will I want to spend $6,000 in September to get my taxes taken care of? No, I'm going to have probably another priority.
Yeah.
So I want it included in my mortgage payment so that I'm never left in the wind with that particular item. But with tax sales, yes, you can go, your counties publish delinquent taxes. You can go and pay the delinquent taxes. However, there is a holding period. There is a waiting period. Just because you pay those delinquent taxes does not mean you are the rightful owner of that home. They still have to allow that homeowner the opportunity to basically pay you back. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say that homeowner has 2 years to get caught up. So it is a long game. It is not a quick, it's a long game. You have to have.
Was it like a few weeks? It's a few years. Ooh.
No. And then if there's a mortgage company attached to it, you got to contend with that as well. So it's deeper than just going to pay the taxes. It's a long game with that. Okay,
give me 1 second. Just talking to one of my admins real quick about the questions. All right. Perfect. Okay, I got one more. Okay. Let's see. For self-employed, you said 12 months of statements, but 2 years of taxes. Can you explain that again?
Yes. So for self-employed, what the lender is going to look for is, it can be 12 months sometimes, depending on the lender. They may ask for 24 months of bank statements. And what they're going to do is they're going to specifically focus on your deposits into your account. They're going to add up all of those deposits and then average it out. So if they do 24 months worth of bank statements, if it's, I don't know, $100,000 worth of deposits we do a little more. Let's say it's $250,000 worth of deposits in a 2-year period. They're going to divide that by 12, or even just look at it and see, are there ups and downs with your income? Are there huge fluctuations in those deposits month over month? And then that's how they're going to determine, okay, we see consistency. On average, you're bringing in about $15,000 a month, or $10,000, or even $5,000 a month. We're going to base your approval off of that number there. Okay. And with the bank statements and tax returns. So you have business tax returns. I know some entrepreneurs still have W-2 employment. And you can use both, but the only how you can use your W-2 and your business income, you still have to have tax returns for your business as well in order to use that as qualifying income. Gotcha. Qualifying income. Okay.
Sounds good. One more says, do you recommend buying a, did they mean tear down? Because it says test down. I want to say tear down. They said they want to buy a fixer upper and get a repair loan, but also pay for some of it themselves. But they're nervous regarding the real estate in Boston.
Okay, so I'm not familiar with let me put a disclaimer. All of these questions that I'm answering are specific to the Georgia real estate market. The loan stuff is pretty consistent across the country, but anything specific to what's going on in any market, I can only speak to the Metro Atlanta market.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just in general terms, with buying a tear down, personally, me, as if this is your first endeavor, I wouldn't go into such a huge project.
Yeah.
Maybe go find a house that to start that maybe needs new flooring, new carpet, new paint. Maybe you can knock down a wall or two to open up a space to make it a little more open. But in terms of a tear down, that means a tear down is you're tearing it down and you're building up. There are so many problems you can run into, unforeseen problems with that process.
Mm-hmm.
If there are electrical problems, plumbing problems, foundation issues, that can get very, very expensive. And that's where you see a lot of projects. If you're driving your city and you be like, damn, they started on this house a year ago and it's just framed. What happened?
Yeah.
They ran out of money. They ran into problems and ultimately ran out of money and couldn't complete the project.
That's what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. Okay. Thank you for letting me know that. Thank you for letting me know that. So if somebody run out of money though, and you see that and somebody wants to come along and buy a house, can they come and snatch it up?
They
get the floor plan or something?
I mean, I've had situations where novice builders, investors embarked on a project and they run out of money. So they'll come to me as a real estate professional. Mm-hmm. Hey, do you have any investors that will want to step in and pick up on this project? Buy it from me, so that I can, at minimum, at least pay back the money I've already borrowed, and I won't be in debt. But that person has to be open and acknowledge the failure, unfortunately, so that they can at least make themselves whole in the sense of paying back the loan, and then another investor or developer can step in to finish the project.
Okay. All right. I have two more viewer questions. The next one is, since it's a seller's market, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you recommend first-time home buyers wait to buy their home? No? Well, you kind of explained that earlier about how it's going to even increase even more in a few years.
And that's exactly why I don't recommend it. Like I said in the comment, especially here in Georgia, in Atlanta, our pricing has been for a long time. For us to be such a progressive city, mm-hmm. Our pricing has been like the best. And now that from the general consumer's perspective, the prices are increasing quickly. No, they're just catching up to where they should have been. We haven't seen those small increases year over year. It's been very consistent for mm-hmm. I've been popping for at least 15, 20 years now.
Yep. I mean, more people are coming, and I see a lot of people from California, I believe it was, has relocated down here. So
yeah, I'm from California, so I understand. I have family purchasing out here right now. They're like, okay, Kiana, it's time for us to do it. Y'all pricing is finally going up. I see it. Help me find a property. Show me some properties on video, and I trust your judgment on what I need to go under contract on. So let's get it done. But yeah, definitely the migration patterns into Georgia are coming out of Florida, California, and New York up north.
We don't need no more people on this interstate, but we understand y'all. Y'all want some nice girl. Okay, so the last question is, can we do this question period? Y'all are funny. So they're asking if we can do this question period after ladies who list every Sunday. I can check.
They only got 2 episodes left, so I can commit to 2.
Okay.
Because I'm about to get back to. Well, I don't work on Sundays. That's why I'm available. That's my off day. But I don't mind answering questions because I need to educate our community. Sure. We definitely need to be educated. But to dig deeper in that last question about should you wait, do not wait. pricing is definitely on the rise in any market. Every market is experiencing what's going on here in Atlanta to some capacity. Maybe not as in depth as Metro Atlanta. Everyone is seeing increases. It's pretty much a seller's market in every market. That means that the seller controls it. That means when we say a seller's market, that there are more buyers leaving the pavement trying to find a home than there's actual inventory. So that means there are multiple offers. So if the house is listed at 300,000, 20 families vying for that one house, you coming in offering 300,000 is a waste of everybody's time. Be offering a number that makes sense to that seller, because you're competing with hedge funds, these cash investors, corporations that have no problem offering $350,000 cash for that $300,000 listing.
You know, when I used to hear about these cash offers, I used to think it was just a person around here that got money. But then when you say these corporations, hedge fund, I never even considered those people.
They're backed
by companies.
They're backed by groups of investors, Chinese investors, big. Open Door. You're familiar with Open Door? You see the signs in Metro Atlanta, right? That Open Door is owned by Chinese investors. They back that. They fund that. They bring their money together and go and buy up inventory. Hundreds of houses a month.
I feel away. I feel like I'm missing out on so much. I'm like, dang, do I need to get in an investor group? Are you a part of an investor group, Kiana?
I am. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Me and some of my girlfriends that are also real estate agents, we actually we're in the process of buying a development. We're going to develop our own community, so we're in that process right now. So yes.
That is so amazing. Like I love this because I hope you guys are learning a lot, because I definitely am. Okay, this is I never even thought of that. I feel like it's so many nooks, like I say.
Yeah, don't think just because you don't you have a vision to, come and take over the real estate market, just because you can't see it for yourself personally, to be able to put down X amount of dollars. You got to think outside of the box. Bring in your circle. Bring in those like-minded individuals to you guys put your money together to build the dream.
Yes. So okay, so this is my last question. I'm gonna let you go, I promise. Okay, so my last question is, earlier you mentioned that you could offer everyone like a course or something like that. Can you give us details about that?
I can. So I'm gonna put this link in the chat. Oh, let me copy it over. Where they can go in and fill out this, and it didn't copy over, but I'm gonna drop this link in here.
Okay.
And give me 1 second so that they can register or provide me their information, and then I'll go ahead and get them registered for a real estate school, for their real estate course for their state. In whatever state, this is not just for Georgia, but for whatever state that they're in, as long as we offer the course in their market, we'll be able to get them signed up for a real estate, their state's real estate classes, whatever that pre-licensing requirement is. They'll be able to enroll in it. It's online, so you take it at your own pace. You'll have up to 6 months to complete the course. Once you complete the course, then you'll be able to sit for your state exam to become a licensed real estate agent in whatever state that you are in.
Gotcha. Let me pin this to the top for those people looking for that link. Okay. And can you just share with the people where they can find you on social media, should they have any additional questions?
Yeah, absolutely. So I can be found on Instagram as Kiana Lawson. So just my name at Kiana Lawson. And on Facebook, Realtor Kiana Lawson on there. And haven't really done much with my YouTube, but we'll see how that goes in the future. But pretty much primarily you can catch me on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, I thank you so much for your time, Kiana. Thank you, everybody, for sending in your questions. I appreciate you all. I'm going to let Miss Kiana get back to enjoying her beautiful Sunday, and I'll check in on next week. We'll do the same thing. I'll just see how you feeling and whether you want to pop back on, and if the people have questions, we could just do that for the next 2 episodes, and go from there if you like.
Yeah, well, I know next week I'll be at a conference in Orlando.
Okay.
I may, depending on what the sequence of events are on Sunday, but if I'll pop in, I'll let you know.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much, and you enjoy your Sunday.
All right, thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Have a great one.
You too. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. All right, y'all. So that was Miss Kiana. I hope y'all enjoyed it, honey. Y'all have been asking for it, so I gave her a chance to come up. It was very knowledgeable for me. I will be honest, it's still a little scary, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like if you want to like just even buying a house or even wanting to just get into the real estate industry just to, you know, be able to sell, but I'm just glad she was open and willing to come on up and answer some questions and stuff. All right, so y'all make sure y'all go over and follow Kiana over on Instagram and, you know, ask all of the questions that you have. I saved the link up top for those of you guys that are interested in getting into a course that's, you know, in your area. Don't forget to like the video. I thank you all so much for spending over 2 hours with me today. I wasn't even expecting that. I was just sleepy, you know. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining me. I definitely appreciate all of you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button, as I said. Also, yeah, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at jamithatsme. And I got some more content I'm gonna try to get out to y'all today. Love During Lockup, as well as My Killer Body with K. Michelle. And yes, if you guys have not been watching, you might want to be watching Love is Blind on Netflix, because I definitely plan on bringing you guys reviews on that show. Okay, so there's that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go on and enjoy your Sunday, honey, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.